Hello, OPS family. This is the first of a series of interviews we'll be doing this year, focusing on our OPS family members, our extended family members, our staff, our students, and our parents. So today we have with us Bre Sommerville. Bre is a new teacher for us in the Owensboro Public Schools, and she's a graduate of the Owensboro Public Schools, so we thought that we would ask her a few questions today about her experience as a student and then coming full circle back as a teacher. So, Bre, first, thank you for agreeing to do this.
Anytime.
And tell us a little bit about your history as a student, what you experienced in the Owensboro Public Schools that made you want to just return to it.
Yeah. So I went to Newton Parrish, where I'm teaching now. I went to Newton Parrish Elementary. Kindergarten, it was through fourth grade at the time. So I went here all the way through fourth grade. Then I moved on to the 5-6 center at the time, and then the middle school, and then the high school. I think going through OPS was kind of, then I would say I probably took it for granted and didn't realize I went to one of the best public school systems until I moved on from the public school system and worked in other ones and was like, whoa, I love what I came from. And I just wanted to come back to it, I think, because it felt like a family all the time. Mm-hmm. So
Awesome. So tell us a little bit, Bre, about if you remember exactly the moment or moments that you knew that you wanted to teach.
I would say my junior year of high school. I was in, she's still at the high school, but I think she's working for central office now. It's in Monica Rice's room. Mm-hmm. I spent a lot of time with Monica Rice, and I think that was the moment I was like, I've always liked kids. I've always worked with kids. That's a typical teacher answer, I feel like. But it just kind of clicked with me, hey, I could do this for ever. I could do this for what I want to do. And so then my senior year, I applied for the Bluegrass program and moved to Sutton and got to spend half of my high school day at Sutton Elementary. And I was with Tiffany Hoffman. And I think that solidified exactly where I knew I wanted to do, what I wanted to do, and where I wanted to be for my career. And
Absolutely.
that really molded me and kind of put me on the path that I wanted to be on.
Absolutely. So you mentioned some strengths in the Owensboro Public Schools, and I agree with what you said. We very much value diversity in our school district and see that as a win-win for all of us here. And our arts programming and our athletic programming, our excellence programming, that we put kids in to do great things. So did you get to take advantage of any of that whenever you were here with us?
Oh, yes. I was an athlete, middle school all the way through graduation. I played soccer and softball. And then I was heavily in the arts program through middle school through high school. And actually, it probably started in elementary school here. I was in the choir here with Miss Tolis, 3rd and 4th grade. So it started, I stuck with choir from 3rd grade all the way through my senior year of high school and still continued it through college. So I think being an OPS put that foundation for me and found me a passion in music. And I also, in middle school, was in band. Played the flute. I prided myself on that flute. I didn't stick with it through high school, but I could still do it if I picked it up today. So I took full advantage of everything that OPS had to offer.
Absolutely. I didn't know all that. That's great. So you have mentioned along the way in our talk so far of some names of people that influenced you. Do you want to call out any other names for everyone?
Yeah, I would definitely say Steve Bratcher. He's my principal here. He kind of just sticks out in my mind. I think about my time in elementary school, there's not a lot of pinpoint moments of things I can strongly remember, but I remember feeling like I was home here. I remember always feeling like Mr. Bratcher's my principal forever. When I moved from here to the middle school, I'm like, Mr. Bratcher's still my principal. And so to still see him, when I come home, when I came home from college and to see him out in the town in Owensboro somewhere, to stop and talk to you is such a good feeling of knowing I haven't been in this building for years, but that's still somebody who talks to me. That's still someone who will check up on me if I need it. So I'd definitely say him. Lindsay Wells, she's not with OPS anymore. She's in a different country right now, but she definitely had an impact on my life. Tiffany Hoffman, I mentioned her already. And I would definitely say probably Claire Lanham. And she's the librarian here, but she was my English teacher in high school. So I would definitely say those people. And Adam Pryor had a big impact on why I want to do what I want to do.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. So it's one thing for you to graduate OHS and us to say, now, come back in 4 years and teach. What made you, in those 4 years you were not with us, still just want to come back? It's tough to get people back to Owensboro sometimes.
Yeah. I think people look at Owensboro as this small community, and they want to get away from it and want to go off somewhere. I did that. I went to Louisville. I had my time, but I also missed my time being here. I have family here. I grew up here. This is not just comfortable, but also a different challenge. Like, this is a different school district than what I grew up in, almost a little bit. People change, kids change, but there's still that one sense of community that draws you back, and that's something that's never changed with Owensboro, the sense of community. It's never changed, and it's something I missed in some of the schools in Louisville. It's something that is just not the same. So I think that's a big reason as to why I wanted to come back here, and also just to give back to what the school system gave to me. The school system gave me every foundation I needed to succeed in life, and to do what I'm doing. I'm a first-generation college student. Like, that's something I pride myself on and I'm big on, but I couldn't have done that without Owensboro Public Schools. So I think
Love to hear all that.
That's big and why I wanted to come back.
So you've started out your school year, your very first year of teaching. Tell us about how the first few days have gone and what dreams and hopes you have for your kids.
This is our fourth day, and our first 4 days have been great. I think they've gone smooth, knock on wood, so nothing changes, but they've gone so smooth. I have the sweetest kiddos. I think they're just eager to be back in here after a summer. I remember craving that schedule, wanting to be back with friends and stuff. So I think they're super excited and ready to be back and ready to learn. I had a little girl the first day tell me, "When are we going to do math?" And I was like, that is not the question I was asking in elementary school when I was there. That wasn't what I was worried about. But they were so excited to be in here. So they're super excited, ready to go. And I was the same way. I thrived and went off their energy as well. But I think hopes and dreams for my students this year is to just know they're loved. I think we put so much emphasis on the academics, which are so super important, and they're going to get there. But putting the love and the relationship first a little bit is going to help get us there.
Couldn't agree more.
I think that's my big goal for the year. Make sure they're loved. This is a safe place to come, a safe place to be, and so that we can learn. If they don't feel safe, they're not going to want to learn. So I think that's my big hope and dreams for my kids this year.
So talk to maybe a high school student that is considering teaching and considering possibly coming back to OPS. What would you tell them in terms of encouragement? I think I would tell them to stop listening to so many people saying that don't go into education. I heard that so many times when I was going through. And that is like the most disheartening thing that I've ever we have to have teachers. Everybody you look at has had a teacher at some point in their life to get to where they are. So I would just say, honestly, don't listen to everything people have to tell you. Some of the things are important, but other things, just know what you can take and what you can not listen to. Another thing I would say is just try to get in to the schools and see where you want to be, the communities you want to be in. Every community is not going to fit every person, but I would definitely say me being my senior year being at Sutton in the Owensboro Public Schools district, even though I came up through it, going to a different school and seeing what it would actually be like was really helpful to me. That's what really solidified, hey, I want to do this. So I would definitely, those would be my two big things. Okay. And then talk to our parents a little bit. Give parents some advice about a successful school start to the year.
I would definitely say relationships with that too. Communication, that's what I've tried to push to my parents this year. I want to communicate with you. We are on the same team to push your child. We are not on different teams. We're not a school team and a home team working against each other. That is not the case. It is communication all the way. We're all trying to push your student forward, trying to better your student, let them learn. So communicate with your teachers, even if you think it's the smallest thing. Like, communicate with them, let them know what's going on. that would be the biggest thing I could say to a parent. Everything else will follow along if we have communication.
I agree. Well, Bre, thank you so much for today. I will share with you that I asked your principal, Ms. Storm, if it would be a good idea to interview you, and her words were, yes, she's a natural already. So I think everybody's going to be able to see that Bre Sommerville is a natural, and you're going to succeed in Owensboro Public Schools, but thankful that you are a product of our system and can't wait to see what you do with our kids. So thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.